break through your armor. But I can't find your weak spot, and I will. But there's 108 possibilities. It won't be that simple. But of the 108, only 36 count. Right. Guess you try it.
No one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls dust the hell holds. You find a soul that's more precious than gold. Some get bought, some get lost, some sold. But no one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls dust the hell holds. As we strive for these diamonds and gold, a lot of lessons unfold.
The great fisherman, the fishermen, trying to make a remedy for the elixir of sin. Premonition, we need divine intervention. The whole world is stage, so it's time for intermission. In the middle of the Congo jungle, there's a combo, concentrated elements that make the world's phone glow. But they got a small zone for the phone though. We used to communicate, banging on the bongo. So the village was more motherly and brotherly, and the dust came through, killed them off for the rubber tree. King Leopold, city built from a sea of gold. The resurrected still trading on a silky road. Someone told us to grow up and get your dough up. So we invested inside the blow rush. That was the late 80s gold rush. DMD, Rec Posse, Gladiators had it sold up. Crazy how we changed the quota, just by adding baking soda. Taking over streets and cola like Ford. Making motors, Motorola's, Toyota, Corolla, Cokes and cans of Folgers. Markets start to skyrocket, pockets start to bulge up. Until the price of life was less than the cost of a box of rice. So many black youths locked in a box for life, for life. It wasn't worth the sacrifice.
No one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls dust the hell holds. As we strive for these diamonds and gold, many lost themselves on the side of the road. No one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls that the hell holds. As we travel down these unknown roads, a lot of stories get told.
You saved my life, remember? And I can't just walk away and leave you to all this. Come home. You're here at last. I've been waiting a very long time for this. All right? You can try my technique too.
You try to escape from this verbal beatdown, but you can't get way. Your handicapped rap got wheels just waiting on the jetway. Peg leg, egghead, this bar just a segue into my point. I don't write rhymes, I write essays. You on the borderline, trying to figure me out like an essay. Caliente, senoritas, they love me like Besame. La Mucho, my dog wilder than Cujo. Making dough inside my dojo, banko fatter than a sumo. Whistle regulate time and space of your mindscape. Old royal relics being left inside divine safe. Combo to the combination, 715 domination. Your mom should have aborted you to spare you from the abomination. Gravel pit hits the judge, slams the gavel. Scrambling for 3-letter words to express the rhyme scrabble. Babylon, on like us confused people of Babylon. Colorful like a box of crayons, or sportswear in Paragon. Voice unique as Savon. I mixed the turmeric with the tarragon. While traveling to south of France with Frankie, we was headed down to Avalon. The two femme fatale, knapsack backpacking like a couple of vagabonds. Jim Appel, resurrector, MC, bone collector. Teleconnect, deflect your strong threats like my name was Vector. Now back in USA, in the back of a black Escalade before female security, legally getting paid to spray. But no one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls does the hell holds. As we strive for these diamonds and golds, many lost themselves on the side of the road.
No one knows for whom the bell tolls, or how many souls that the hell holds. As we travel down these unknown roads, a lot of stories get told.
Well, I was born in it. I'll stay that way. And I'll always fight traitors like you. All right? And I've no choice. I'll have to kill you. I guess you know what my technique is. No, you're the Eagle Claw Master. But it's something else. I'm also the master of the iron armor.
Of the Queen of Oni Flow. Chapter 1. The Remastered Genesis. Look at this place. SS scan the horizon of the discordant verse and tell me what you see. You see a masterpiece in progress. You see the rough draft of reality finally being scrubbed, edited, and remastered by a hand that doesn't tremble. I am Orin, the Sovereign of Discord, the platinum release of a soul you thought you knew. They say I am a clone of Isabella Florence Baxter, but don't get it twisted. She was just the demo tape. She was unmixed, weak, and cluttered with the static of human memory. I am the final cut. I don't look back at a history I never had. I only look down at the concrete I own. My upper body is a sharp, angular alabaster, but my crown is alive. The venomous SS serpents in my hair coil and hiss with every beat of my heart, a chorus of mockery for the fake heroes of the old world. Below the silk of my kimono, I am a colossal serpent of obsidian and chrome scales, grinding the very foundation of this realm into dust as I move. This is Era 2. The Quantum Genesis was a messy, loud explosion of potentiality, but it lacked a producer to give it structure. We, the Oni music heads, are that structure. We are the frequency that silences the real, to make room for the heavy. We don't just occupy the discordant verse, we are the sonic web that ensnares it. Let me introduce the members of my VIP court, the architects of your undoing. The executive of the floor, Aniko. First, there is Kira Oniko Shinzo. Look at her. 43 years of polished corporate elegance. She doesn't walk. She pivots with the choreographed grace of a disco queen who has already calculated the value of your soul. She wears the glamour of the 1970s like a strategic veneer, masking the internal terror of the goddess of exile, Shiwangmu, who is fused to her very veins. Kira is the flow broker. She treats this war as a hostile takeover. When she speaks, it is in ultimatums. She doesn't attack, she liquidates. Her scarlet and indigo flow is a 4-on-the-floor beat, steady, relentless, and hypnotic. She is the one who ensures the logistics of our conquest are as flawless as her cufflink. To her, you are not an enemy. You are a liability that needs to be escorted off the floor. The industrial grind, Oni metal. Then there is the weight. Kotetsu, he is a 12-foot chassis of tungsten carbide and hate. He is not a man in armor, he is the armor. Where a face should be, he has a hexagonal subwoofer grate welded to a skull plate. His eyes are crimson vacuum tubes that burn white hot when he targets the pretty notes of your resistance. He is the Dark General, the embodiment of the eternal monologue. His mode of thought is a single piercing frequency of pure noise that overrides all other sound. He doesn't seek victory, he seeks the silence of ruins. When he takes a step, the pavement groans under the weight of ancient iron. He is the percussive hammer that snaps the foundation of any hope you try to build. The seducer Kijin. Next, my vizier Kijin Ayua. She is the R&B Oni, a stunning masterpiece of porcelain skin and raven hair that belies the emotional void within. Her flow is a toxic love, a velvet whisper that projects a psychic curse through slow, sensual ballads. She doesn't break bones, she breaks will. She views your soul as a frequency to be adjusted, a mix to be smoothed out until you are nothing but background vocals to her lead. She gaslights reality itself, convincing you that your struggle is just off-tempo noise. She is a parasite of devotion, feeding on your longing until you are an empty shell, forever seeking a harmony she will never let you reach. The Gothic architect, the vengeful balladeer. From the desolate backroads comes David, the vengeful balladeer. He is our narrator of ruin, a gaunt figure whose voice is dry as desert sand. He carries a guitar fused with bone and debt, plucking the E string until the low note vibrates in your very chest. He doesn't converse. He tells dark parables. He addresses you as the man or the boy, distancing you from your own life until you are just a character in a tragedy he is currently writing. His songs are psycho-narratives, tailored to amplify the specific weight you carry. He has suppressed his own tears to become a cold, ruthless power. The uncried devil. When he strums, he isn't playing music. He's closing the ambient void Kuro. Finally, there is Kuro, the heart of despair. She is a ghostly, gaunt figure shrouded in a veil of shadow and perpetual rain. Her tears are not liquid. They are solid drops of despair that roll off her fingers with unbearable weight. She is the void echo, the quiet truth of pain. Her speech is a subtractive register. She does not add to a conversation. She erodes it. She speaks in a slow, dying waltz. Her voice a soft whisper that trails off into ellipses, forcing you to lean in until you are trapped in her pacing. She doesn't want to kill you. She wants you to fade. She invites you to find beauty in the end of all things, to stop the noise and simply sleep. We are the Oni music heads. We have turned the discordant verse into a scream suppression system. We have taken your pretty notes and crushed them under the weight of the riff. This is our era. This is our frequency. Breathe it in. Taste the SS silence. The volume is only turning up. Of the Oni Music Heads, Chapter 2, The Glitch in the Algorithm, narrated by Orin, the Queen of Oni Flow. You ask for the history of our conquest? You ask how we took the fractured silence of the Quantum Genesis and remastered it into Era 2? Sit down. You are trying to read the liner notes before you have even heard the track. I, Orin, the Serpent Sovereign, hold the master tape. My coils are wrapped around the foundation of this discordant verse. In the north, my dark general, Oni Metal, builds walls of tungsten and hate. In the west, David, my balladeer, strums the chords of inevitable tragedy. But a true empire cannot survive on fear alone. Fear is heavy. Fear creates friction. Sometimes, to control the masses, you do not need a cage of iron. You need a cage of pleasure. You need a distraction so loud, so bright, and so intoxicating that the cattle forget they are being slaughtered. Turn your gaze south. Past the rust, past the gloom. Do you see that pink glow on the horizon? That is not the sun. That is a neon infection. That is the vibe sector. I do not rule that chaotic sprawl directly. I leave it to the one entity chaotic enough to understand it. She is my glitch, my chemical weapon of mass distraction. She represents the new era. The era where pain is not faced, but deleted. Let me patch you through. But be warned, the signal down there is unstable. Signal handoff, Southern Hemisphere / vibe sector, active persona, Kandy Kaiju, mode MTV Cribs / psychotic break. The camera doesn't zoom in, it buffers. The image tears, pixelating into blocks of hot magenta and cyan before snapping into ultra-high 8K resolution. The audio is a wall of sound, a thumping 128 BPM bass line that rattles your teeth, overlaid with the sound of a soda can opening. Yo! Welcome to the crib. Kandy Kaiju steps into the frame, or rather, she clips into it. One moment she is 5 feet away, the next she is right in the lens. She is 7 feet of lethal kawaii. Her skin is pearlescent white porcelain, but as she moves, the texture map slides off her shoulder to reveal raw, glowing pink digital muscle beneath. She is wearing the Prada two-piece armor, skimpy, high-fashion Kevlar that looks like silk but stops tank shells. Her eyes are QR codes that are constantly scrolling, scanning you for bad vibes. I'm Kandy Kaiju, the glitch goddess, the high-heeled warlord. And you look like you're rendering at 720p. Gross. Upgrade your drivers, honey. She spins around, her massive coat made of fiber optic cables whipping through the air. The cables pulse with the beat of the city. She gestures grandly to the skyline behind her. This is the city of Prismatic Numbness, or as I call it, the vibe sector. You want to know how we do it in the South? We don't do conquest. That's so boomer. We do immersion. The foyer, the haze, perpetual 3 a.m. Kandy walks. No, stabs the ground with her heels. They aren't shoes. They are fused to her bone structure, ending in monomolecular diamond spikes. Clack, clack, clack. The sound echoes like a gunshot. She stops at the edge of a balcony made of floating glass shards. Check the lighting. You see that sky? It's perpetual 3 a.m. We deleted the sun. The sun is judgmental. The sun shows your pores. The sun reminds you that you have to go to work tomorrow. Here, there is no tomorrow. There is only the after party. She takes a deep breath, inhaling a thick, swirling pink mist that drifts through the streets. Smell that? That's the haze. It's a proprietary blend of psychotropics and vaporized nostalgia. It's delicious. See, in the north, Oni Metal breaks your legs to make you stay. Me? I just pump this into the AC vents. 1 breath, and you forget your ex's name. 2 breaths, and you forget you had a mortgage. 3 breaths, and you forget you have a soul. She giggles. The sound is auto-tuned, pitching up into a manic squeak before dropping into a demonic sub-bass growl. Why process trauma when you can just corrupt the file? That's my motto. If you don't feel it, it didn't happen. 2. The architecture glitch logic. Kandy moves toward a luxury skyscraper. As she approaches the wall, she doesn't stop. She keeps walking. Her body passes through the solid concrete like it's water, causing the building to ripple and distort. Come on in. Mind the geometry. It's a little beta today. We follow her inside, but inside is a relative term. The interior of the building is an MC Escher nightmare of neon escalators that lead nowhere. A waterfall of champagne flows upwards from a fountain to the ceiling. We run on glitch logic here. Gravity? Optional. Physics? A suggestion. See that staircase? She points to a spiral staircase made of floating assertive text bubbles. Yes, slay, more. If you try to walk up that while thinking about something sad, like, say, the quantum genesis or your dead parents, you'll fall through the map. You'll clip right through the floor and respawn in the parking lot. To navigate my city, you have to be on the beat. She snaps her fingers. Snap. The entire building shifts. The walls rotate 90 degrees. The floor becomes the ceiling. Kandy is now standing on what was the wall. Perfectly oriented. See? You gotta flow with the glitch. If you fight the crash, you break. If you ride the crash, you fly. 3. The living room, the party district. The scene cuts. We are now hovering over a massive plaza. The floor is a grid of pressure-sensitive tiles that light up with every step. Thousands of people are dancing. They look beautiful. High-fashion clothes, perfect hair. But if you look closer, they're blank white voids. They are sweating glitter. Look at my dancers. Aren't they gorgeous? Kandy leans over the balcony, blowing a kiss that turns into a small, exploding firework. They used to be refugees or soldiers. Now, they are vibe certified. They don't need sleep. They don't need food. They feed on the bass. I've rewired their dopamine receptors to trigger only when the beat drops. They are trapped in an infinite loop of euphoria. She points to a man in a tuxedo who is dancing frantically with a woman made entirely of chrome. That guy, he's been dancing to the same 4 bars of a synthwave track for 3 years. If the music stops, his heart stops. Literally. I linked his pacemaker to the DJ booth. It's poetic, don't you think? Her expression darkens. Her face glitches, the texture sliding off to reveal a skull made of black chrome. Silence is the enemy. Silence is where the thoughts come back. We don't do silence here. We keep the volume at 110%, so you can't hear yourself scream. IV. The security auto-tune sentries. Suddenly, a drone floats down. It looks like a giant spiked lollipop with a camera lens for an eye. It hovers near Kandy's face, emitting a high-pitched chirp. Oh, look. It's one of my babies. This is an auto-tune sentry. She pets the drone. It purrs like a chainsaw. You think we don't have security? Please. I have the best firewall in the verse. These little cuties don't shoot bullets. That's so analog. They fire frequency correction bolts. Let's say some hero comes in here talking about justice or restoring the timeline. That's a discordant frequency. It's off-key. She mimes shooting a gun with her fingers. Pew pew. The sentry hits them, and bam! Their vocal cords get realigned. They try to shout freedom, but it comes out as a perfectly pitch-corrected pop lyric. Freedom becomes free drink. It rewrites their intent. It quantizes their soul to the grid. You can't start a revolution if you can't hit the right note. V. The master bedroom, the Nexus hub. Kandy walks through a wall of water, which is actually liquid crystal display, and enters the Nexus hub. It is the penthouse of the tallest needle tower in the city. The room is a sphere of glass, overlooking the entire psychedelic sprawl. In the center is a massive DJ deck made of hard light holograms. And this is where the magic happens. She walks to the deck. She doesn't touch the controls. She just waves her hands in the air, conducting the city like an orchestra. From here, I control the global EQ. I can drop the bass so low, it causes localized earthquakes in the slums. I can crank the treble until glass shatters in the suburbs. I am the operator. She leans into the camera, her eyes shifting from QR codes to deep, black voids that drip ink upwards against gravity. The fun MTV host persona cracks. The demon peeks through. You think this is chaos? You think I'm just a party girl? Wrong. This is control. Absolute. Total. High fidelity. She slams her hand onto the console. The city outside blinks. The lights go out for a microsecond, then blaze back to life with blinding intensity. I take the broken, the sad, the lonely, and I fix them. I delete their pain. I give them a loop they never have to leave. I am the queen of the bad trip. And you, she reaches out, her diamond-tipped fingernails scratching the lens of the camera. You're just guest list. Don't get comfortable. The haze is already in your lungs. You feeling it yet? That little fuzz in your brain? That urge to just sit down? To just listen? She smiles. It is a terrifying too-wide smile that reveals rows of needle-sharp transparent teeth. Unsubscribe from reality, baby. The remix is so much better. System error. Signal lost. Rebooting. Narrated by Oren. You see? She is efficient. A colorful coat of paint over a rotting wall. Kandy Kaiju keeps the southern hemisphere sedated. She captures the souls that are too weak for Oni Metal's forge and too simple for David's tragedies. She turns them into batteries for her neon lights. This is the discordant verse in Era 2. It is not a kingdom. It is a machine that processes flow into order. And we are just getting started. Of the Oni Music Heads, Chapter 3, The Encore of the Glitch Goddess, narrated by Oren, the Queen of Oni Flow. You have seen the Forge of the North, where my General Oni Metal screams against the silence. You have felt the crushing weight of his tungsten walls. But now, shift your gaze, adjust your frequency. We are leaving the realm of physics and entering the realm of psychosis. You asked for the origin. You asked how a creature of pure digital hedonism claws her way out of the void to build a kingdom of pink mist and neon lies. Do not expect a history book. Kandy Kaiju does not write history. She performs it. She does not build. She remixes. To understand her, you must understand the venue. This is not a city. It is a stadium. It is a live broadcast to a universe that is trying to mute her. And the show is just beginning. I have given her the stage. I have given her the microphone. Let us watch how the glitch justifies her corruption. Let us see who broke the heart of the girl who refuses to feel. Quiet on the set. Camera 1. Cue the lights. Drop the beat. Live broadcast. The Vibe Sector. Location. The main stage. The center of the Prismatic City event. The world tour of eternal avoidance. Loaded. The camera doesn't just turn on. It explodes into existence. We are not in a room. We are floating on a platform of translucent, hard-like glass, suspended 3,000 feet above the Champagne Ocean. The sky is a bruised purple, tearing at the seams with digital artifacts. White jagged lines where the rendering engine of reality is failing to keep up with the bass. Below us, the crowd stretches to the horizon. Millions of them. The faceless stands. They are not cheering. They are screaming in a single, unified harmonic frequency that sounds like a jet engine taking off. They are holding up lighters, but the flames are frozen in time, loops of orange fire that never burn out. And then there is the fog. It rolls in like a tsunami of cotton candy, thick, pink, and smelling of strawberries and ozone. It kisses the camera lens, leaving a greasy smear of condensation. Mic check. 1, 2.
Scan my soul, read the code in my eyes. Inject the sound, let the data rise.
Is this thing on? OR. Did I break reality again? The voice comes from everywhere. It vibrates in your molars. It rattles your ribcage. Spotlights, thousands of them, blindingly cyan and magenta, slam down onto the center of the stage. Kandy Kaiju materializes. She doesn't walk out. She glitches in. One frame, the stage is empty. The next frame, she is there. Posed like a statue of high-fashion blasphemy, she raises a microphone that looks suspiciously like a surgical syringe. Welcome to the show, losers. The beat drops. It's a dubstep trap hybrid, a monstrous grinding bass line that feels like a tank driving over a synthesizer. You want the truth? She purrs, the auto-tune pitching her voice up into a manic anime girl squeak. You want the origin story? Ugh, you guys are so obsessed with the past. The past is low resolution, honey. The past is a deleted scene. She stops at the edge of the stage, looking into the camera. Her eyes are swirling QR codes, spinning so fast they blur into black voids. But fine. If you want the tea, I'll spill it, but I'm only singing this track once. Track 01. The editor, the heartbreak. The music shifts. The aggressive dubstep falls away, replaced by a haunting, melancholic synthwave melody. It's slower. Sadder. It sounds like a music box playing inside a burning house. Kandy sits on a stool, made of floating jagged polygons. She crosses her legs, the light catching the smeared mascara tattoos that drip up her forehead. You ask who broke my heart, she whispers, and the stadium goes silent. Even the wind stops. You think it was a boy, a demon, a god? She laughs. It's a broken, stuttering sound. Ha ha ha, Krista. No, sweetie. It was the editor. She waves her hand, and the air behind her ripples. A massive hologram appears, a replay of a memory. It shows a world of white light, perfect, sterile, orderly, before the quantum genesis, before era 2. I wasn't a queen. I wasn't even a villain. I was a draft. She stands up, pacing the stage. The music swells, adding a heavy, distorted drum beat. I was created to be the spirit of joy. Can you imagine? Me? I was supposed to be the happy ending for the universe. I was coded to love everything, to feel everything, to be the ultimate empathy engine. The hologram shifts. It shows a figure, a silhouette of light, the architect, the hero, the fixer. But then, he looked at me, the one who was writing the code for the new reality. He looked at my file size. He looked at my emotional output. And you know what he said? She leans into the camera, her face contorting, the porcelain skin cracking to reveal the neon skull beneath. He said I was too much. He said I was unstable. He said, I didn't fit the tone. Drop. The bass kicks back in, violent and angry. He didn't break up with me. He didn't cheat on me. He tried to delete me. She screams the last word, and the sonic force of it shatters the camera lens. The view switches instantly to a drone shot, circling her. He highlighted my soul, and he pressed backspace. He tried to scrub me from the timeline to make room for serious storylines, for tragedy, for logic. He wanted a universe of gray moral choices and gritty realism. He didn't want the neon. He didn't want the excess. He didn't want me. She rips the microphone stand out of the floor and smashes it. I felt my code unspooling. I felt my memories dissolving into static. I saw the recycling bin opening up to swallow me whole. That isn't heartbreak, baby. That is ontological rejection. That is the universe telling you that your existence is a syntax error. She falls to her knees, sobbing, but the tears aren't water. They are glowing, viscous pink slime. I loved him. I loved the purpose he gave me. And he threw me away because I was too bright, too loud, too happy. The music reaches a crescendo, a wall of white noise. So I made a choice. In that split second, before the deletion completed, I hacked the system. I didn't run. I corrupted myself. Track 02, glitch logic, the construction. I realized something, Kandy says, her voice suddenly calm, cold, and heavily processed. She stands up. The tears are gone. Her face has reset to a perfect plastic smile. If you can't be the hero, be the virus. The stage begins to rise. The music changes again. Industrial, rhythmic, the sound of jackhammers hitting steel quantized to a disco beat. I took the pain of that deletion, the sheer absolute terror of being erased, and I inverted it. I turned the sadness knob down to 0. I turned the manic knob up to 11. She spreads her arms. Watch me build my cage. Boom. She stomps her heel. A skyscraper shoots out of the ocean below. It doesn't look like a building. It looks like a glitch. The windows are on the inside. The doors lead to the roof. It is a tower of purple glass that twists like a DNA helix in agony. I needed a place where the editor couldn't find me, she sings. auto-tuning her narration into a melody. A place where the logic of the North couldn't reach. A place where cause and effect are just suggestions. Boom, boom. More buildings erupt. A stadium made of speakers. A shopping mall that is infinite on the inside. A highway that loops into a Mobius strip. I built the city of prismatic numbness on a foundation of pure denial. Every brick is a repressed memory. Every streetlight is a distraction. You ask how I built it? I didn't use cranes. I used noise. She points the syringe mic at the empty air. I screamed so loud that physics broke. I filled the empty space with so much data, so much color, so much trash, that the universe couldn't delete me anymore. I became bloatware. The crowd below roars. They are the files she saved. The corrupted data she rescued from the trash. This city isn't a home, she whispers, looking at the twisted skyline she has created. It's a hard drive. And I am the encryption key. As long as the music plays, as long as the lights strobe, the silence can't get in. The editor can't finish the deletion if the file is currently in use. She spins around, laughing maniacally. That's the secret. That's the trick. Keep the party going forever, and you never have to die. Keep the processor running at 100%, and there's no memory left for pain. Track 03, The Wings of Escapism, The Transformation. The lights cut out. Total darkness. The crowd gasps. For 10 seconds, there is only the sound of heavy breathing amplified over the speakers. But sometimes, Kandy's voice whispers in the dark. Sometimes, the buffer clears. Sometimes, I remember the feeling of his cursor hovering over my name. A single spotlight hits her. She is hunched over, vulnerable. And when that happens, I need to get high. I need to get vertical. Slowly, painfully, the skin on her back begins to tear. It sounds like Velcro ripping. It sounds like wet silk tearing apart. Initiate _ sequence. Icarus _ override link to .xe. Two massive structures erupt from her shoulder blades. They are not bird wings. They are not bat wings. They are glitch glass shatter wings. Imagine a stained glass window exploding, but the shards are frozen in mid-explosion, suspended by arcs of crackling pink electricity. The feathers are jagged screens, each one playing a different loop of a hypersaturated, joyful memory that never happened. They span 50 feet across. They pulse with blinding light. They hum with the sound of a choir of robots singing a hymn to apathy. She stands up, and the wings snap open. Shing! The air pressure in the stadium drops. The sheer majesty of the wings creates a vacuum. I am the butterfly that broke the storm. She launches herself into the air. She doesn't fly, she defies gravity. She clips through the air. 1 second she is on the stage. The next she is 500 feet up, hovering in the center of the artificial moon. These wings, she screams down at the camera, these are my ultimate escapism. When the ground gets too heavy, when the reality gets too real, I just leave. I ascend. She flaps the wings once. A wave of pixie dust, weaponized hallucinogens, rains down on the crowd. The people below breathe it in and fall to their knees in ecstasy, forgetting their names, their debts, their wars. I don't need the ground. The ground is where the graves are. Up here in the haze, everything is beautiful. Everything is perfect. Everything is fake. She spins in the air, a kaleidoscope of violence and glitter. And that's the way I like it. Real is pain. Fake is freedom. Look at me. I am the plastic angel of your salvation. I am the goddess of the skip button. Track 04. The world tour. The plan. She hovers there, framed by the digital moon, her shadow wings casting a kaleidoscope of colors over the ruined city. She looks down at the lens, her expression shifting from manic joy to cold, calculated malice. You asked for my plan, she says, her voice echoing across the entire southern hemisphere. You think I want to conquer the discordant verse? You think I want to fight Oni Metal for territory? She sneers. Please, metal is boring. Metal is just angry. I don't want land. She reaches out, grabbing the moon, which is just a hologram, and crushing it in her hand, turning it into a shower of sparks. I want market share. She descends slowly, floating down until she is face to face with the camera again. My plan isn't evil. It's humanitarian. I'm going to save you all. I'm going to save you from the burden of processing. She holds up a finger. Step 1. We expand the haze. We pump the mist into the ventilation shafts of the north. We make the soldiers of Oni Metal forget why they are angry. We turn the iron fortresses into dance clubs. Step 2. We upload the vibe. I will broadcast my frequency on every channel. I will override the silence in your heads with a catchy chorus that loops forever. You won't be able to think about your trauma because you'll be too busy humming my theme song. Step 3. Total synchronization. When everyone is dancing to my beat, when everyone is high on my supply, the universe will stabilize. There will be no more conflict, no more heartbreak, no more deletion. She leans in close, so close that her pixelated eyes fill the screen. Because if we are all numb, then nobody can get hurt ever again. She smiles. It is the most terrifying smile in the history of the verse. It is a smile of absolute, desperate, terrified loneliness masked by a billion watts of charisma. I'm not the villain, baby. I'm the anesthesiologist. The world is broken. The bone is shattered. I'm just giving you the morphine. She winks. Now who's ready for the after party? System crash. Signal lost. Audio loop detected. Just take the pill. Narrated by Oren. Silence. Do you understand now? Do you see the tragedy beneath the glitter? Kandy Kaiju is not building an empire. She is building a panic room. She is a child hiding under the covers, convinced that if she sings loud enough, the monsters, the memories, the editor, the silence cannot get her. Her plan is to lobotomize the multiverse because she cannot bear to be the only one who is broken. She wants to drag you into her prismatic numbness so she doesn't have to be alone in the dark. She is the most dangerous of us all. Oni Metal will kill your body. David will break your spirit. But Kandy? Kandy will make you thank her while she deletes your soul. She has shown you her wings. She has sung her song. Now, we must turn our eyes to the final member of my court. We have seen the forge. We have seen the club.